I strongly believe that sometimes people need to fight it out. Because talking doesn't do it. Sometimes you can talk. Like in this certain situations, you could talk to a person, you express how you feel, they express how they feel, y'all come to a mutual agreement that y'all either don't agree or, you might start seeing it from another person's point of view.
They got to figure that out over there. So it's not a thing of me having the issue with her. My only issue is why you leak my number. Okay. It ain't no thing, oh, I want him and he's married to you. And it's not that. I'm a girl's girl. So when it comes to like that, that's not it. We all know that Remy was already out here having her little boy toy or whatever prank. He done came out and done said it that they were in a relationship 2 years.
Wow.
So
things are getting real tense in the world of Remy Ma right now. Word on the street is that she's seriously heated and not just in a regular, throw some shade online kind of way. We're talking about a situation that's starting to feel downright dangerous. The drama? Allegedly, boxing champ Claressa Shields tried to send some people to go after Remy. Yeah, it's wild. Let's break it down from the top, because this beef didn't come out of nowhere. Remy and Claressa have been throwing subliminal shots at each other for a while now. It all traces back to one person, Papoose. Things between Remy and Pop haven't been the same, and Claressa's name keeps popping up in the mix. It got so tense that at one point, Remy actually challenged Claressa to settle things in the boxing ring. That never happened, though. And now, things have apparently escalated way beyond a friendly fight. Allegedly, Claressa didn't just ignore the ring challenge, she took it to the streets. Rumors say she tried to handle things her own way by sending some people to confront Remy. The alleged hit didn't go as planned, but the story goes that Remy ended up in the hospital. Whether or not that's true, people online are talking like this is straight out of a movie. But if you've been following the tension, this moment didn't come out of thin air. So how did we get here? Let's rewind a bit. Not too long ago, Remy Ma made a public appearance in her hometown. She was standing on stage with Trey Songz and Connie Diamond, performing the remix to their track Ghetto and Ratchet. Everything seemed normal at first until Remy changed up one of her lyrics on stage. The original line was, "Got a problem. B, say something. If I want your man, I'll take him. But live on stage?" She said, "If I wanted your man, I'll take him." And the way she said it, the energy, the expression, people knew exactly who she was talking about. It didn't feel like just a bar. It felt personal. Now, let's not forget that Claressa's been pretty close to Papoose lately. And everybody knows Remy and Pop go way back, they have a whole family together. So when she flipped that lyric and delivered it with so much heat, fans instantly picked up on the shade. It was like Remy was saying, I had him first, and I could have him back anytime I want. The confidence or maybe even bitterness in her voice made folks think she wasn't over the split. And that might have been the final straw for Claressa. Soon after Remy's bold onstage moment, Claressa fired back with a freestyle of her own. And she didn't hold back one bit. In a video that's now gone viral, Claressa's seen standing in front of a luxury car, dressed like she's ready for war bomber jacket, trucker hat, sunglasses, chains, the whole look. Then the beat drops, and she starts spitting bars, calling herself a face splitter. Let's be honest, who else could that be directed at besides Remy? In her freestyle, Claressa brags about stacking money, leveling up financially, and makes it clear she's not the one to mess with. But the internet? They weren't feeling it. Social media lit up with comments like, "It's giving, I want to be Remy so bad," and "Girl, go back to boxing." Rapping, ain't it? People were dragging Claressa for trying to imitate Remy's style, from her flow to her outfit. The vibe was off and fans weren't buying it. Some even pointed out how Remy had just been in the studio with Fat Joe and recently performed at Madison Square Garden. So to them, Claressa's freestyle came off like a weak attempt at keeping up. And you could tell by Claressa's face in her Instagram stories, later she thought she did something, but the public just wasn't impressed. That freestyle was supposed to shut Remy up, but instead it just made the tension worse. Now, here's where things start to take a darker turn. Not long after Claressa's diss dropped and flopped, whispers started to spread that something happened. police claim she got into some sort of altercation and ended up in the hospital. She hasn't been seen in public since. No social media posts, no live streams, no appearances. Just silence. And at the same time, there's talk that Claressa, who's known to have some connections back in Michigan, may have allegedly sent people to confront Remy. That's when the streets really started buzzing. Let's be real, this situation is messy, and it's way past rap beef at this point. When you mix pride, heartbreak, and street connections, things can go left real quick. Claressa isn't just a world-class boxer. She's got influence. She's got people. And if anyone could make something happen behind the scenes and not get her hands dirty, it's probably her. Meanwhile, while all this chaos is unfolding, guess who's out here living his best life? Papoose. That man has been spotted out vacationing with Claressa, smiling, vibing like nothing is going on. He seems completely unbothered, and that's making fans talk even more. Claressa may not have won the rap battle, but some folks are saying she might be winning the war because she's got pap. She clapped back, and Remy has gone totally silent. No posts, no interviews, no comebacks, nothing. And for someone like Remy Ma, who's always been vocal and never afraid to speak her mind, that silence is loud. People are starting to speculate. Is she hiding out because of the alleged hit? Or is she planning a major comeback and just waiting for the perfect time to drop a bombshell? Either way, Claressa better stay alert. Because Remy? She's not just tough, she's calculated. She's been through the system. She's done time. And she's not the type to let stuff slide. If she feels like her family is being threatened, especially with a child in the picture, she might be ready to go full-on protective mode. We're talking nothing to lose energy. It's not just about rap anymore. This is personal. Remy loves Papoose. That's not just her man, that's her partner, her family. They've built something together. And if she feels like Claressa is trying to tear that down, let's just say Claressa might have a real problem on her hands. At this point, it's not about diss tracks or who wore what better. It's about pride, love, loyalty, and survival. So while Claressa may be walking around thinking she's won, the real storm might be just around the corner. Because if Remy Ma is laying low right now, it's probably not out of fear. It might just be the calm before the storm. Let's be real for a second. Ray might talk a big game, but when you look at her past, it's clear she's not just barking for show. She's got a history, and not the kind you brag about. So let's take a little trip down memory lane, because her background tells a story that's way deeper than just some rap beef or social media drama. Now, if you don't know, Remy Ma wasn't always just a rapper spitting bars. Back in the day, she actually landed herself in some serious trouble. We're not talking about a little scuffle or some typical celebrity mess. No.
So he came up every day? Every visit?
For the first year, he came literally every single day. When you're in a match, you have a visit every day, except for it alters on the weekends, on Saturday or Sunday. So literally the first year,
How
he
far
came
is
every day.
Stafford Hills from?
It's about 45 to an hour, depending on traffic.
So he was running up there every day, like coming up there.
Yeah,
Be back tomorrow.
it got to a point where I had to tell him, like, yo, like, I'm good. I'm alright. Like, and I guess, like, when he believed it, that was alright, and I was like, he was like, alright, cool, and then he'll come, like, a little bit less. He'll come, like, 3 times a week. Or
Remy was convicted for shooting someone back in 2007. That's right, this was real life, not a scene out of a movie. It all went down outside the Manhattan nightclub. A woman named Makita Barnes Joseph accused Remy of pulling the trigger over some missing money. Allegedly, Remy thought Makita had stolen some cash from her, and instead of talking it out like adults, things got violent fast. Remy claimed it was an accident, but the court didn't buy it. They charged her with illegal weapons possession, assault, and attempted coercion. And just like that, she ended up serving 6 years before being released in 2014. Since then, she's tried to turn her life around, focusing on music, her family, and staying out of trouble. But let's be honest, that tough side of Remy, yeah, it never really went away. It's just been on pause. And it didn't stop there either. Fast forward to 2019, and Remy's name was back in the headlines. This time, it was because of an alleged altercation with her love and hip-hop New York castmate, Brittany Taylor. According to reports, Remy punched Brittany backstage during an event. And just like that, she caught another case. A restraining order was issued, and people started to notice a pattern when Remy feels disrespected. She doesn't hold back. She reacts first and deals with the consequences later. But hold on.
Are you happy with it?
I'm innocent. You can always say that.
She's on. Things get even messier. In 2021, Remy's son was reportedly arrested in connection to a murder investigation. The details are still foggy, but the fact that her son was even linked to such a serious crime had people online doing double takes. It had the internet buzzing. People were asking, what's really going on in Remy's household? The whole situation started giving Bonnie and Clyde raise a shooter kind of vibes. The drama wasn't just about Remy anymore, it was her entire circle getting dragged into chaos. And if 50 Cent is stepping in to warn you about going too far, you might want to take a step back. That's exactly what happened.
Realest that I can be to you. Stop playing these social media games. People get hurt every day from playing on social media. Brittany, you're 4'10", baby.
What does that mean?
That means that you're really little. That's what that means.
I don't care.
It's kind of impossible to be with the when you're 4'10".
Next. Now let's talk about Claressa Shields. Why all know her, the boxing champ who's got hands for days? Well, Claressa got involved in this whole mess too. Apparently, she's been calling out Remy, demanding to know her location like it's about to be a boxing match instead of a street fight. When things started getting out of hand, even 50 Cent had to intervene. Word on the blogs is that 50 told Claressa straight up, don't do it. He warned her that if she took things any further, she might end up catching the blip. And when someone like 50 says that, it's not just a threat. That's a red flag from someone who's been around long enough to know how fast things can spiral when you mess with the wrong one. Claressa might have thought she was just stepping into some light drama, but what she walked into was a whole different level of heat. This isn't just a rapper with a microphone, this is someone with a criminal record, a reputation, and a crew that's reportedly still loyal from her Terror Squad days. Some of them are still active, still out here in the streets, and still moving in silence. While Claressa is out here posting selfies and hitting the gym, Remy might be plotting behind the scenes, watching, waiting, and planning her next move. Now,
Energy.
Remy Ma, her son is charged with first-degree murder.
Hypothetically.
There's not a hypothetical.
Well, not hypothetically,
he's
but
charged.
how you say he's not?
He's charged. He hasn't been convicted of it,
Right.
but he's charged with it. You know, which makes it very sad, you know, because remember, she went to prison for shooting a girl over a money dispute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
there's been a lot of talk in the background. People are saying Remy's not just sitting back quietly. Rumor has it she's been doing some digging, checking old phone records, going through interviews, reading DMs, and figuring out just how deep this situation really goes. And here's where it gets even spicier. Apparently, someone close to her flipped. One of the people who stayed neutral during the whole Remy Pap Claressa triangle allegedly switched sides and gave Remy everything: screenshots, messages, even location pins. So while Claressa's out here doing podcast appearances and sparring for the next big fight, Remy might be building her own story, putting together receipts like she's filming a whole 2x series. And if there's one thing people know about Remy Ma, it's that when she finally speaks out, she doesn't just do it for drama. She brings the heat with facts. And here's where things start to take a darker turn. Some fans online are floating a wild theory, a possible setup. They're saying that Pop and Claressa might have teamed up to push Remy out of the picture. Think about it. Pop and Remy's relationship has been rocky for a while. Then suddenly, Claressa starts popping up in the same circles as Pop. One minute she's calling him big bro, and the next, she's allegedly hanging out like they're more than just friends. The whole vibe was off from the start. Then Remy gets publicly embarrassed. People start clowning her online, and boom, now there's talk of someone trying to take her out completely. And who benefits the most if Remy's gone? That's the question people are starting to ask. Let's not forget Remy's been through the system before. She's not new to this. She knows how it works. So she's not the type to go running to the police herself, but that doesn't mean the authorities aren't